Hello, I'm AJ Lewis. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time with me, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's always great to see friends again. Today's video is special for a couple reasons. One, I am recording this from beautiful downtown Peoria, Illinois, right in the heartland of America. And two, today's topic is a personal favorite of mine and one of my biggest challenges. It's learning not to take things personal. This is part one of a two-part series, but before we jump into it, as always, just a quick note. If you find content like this inspiring or helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. New videos are added frequently, so subscribing is the best way to be the first to know when new content is available. Also, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. I love hearing what my viewers have to say. Now, back to the topic at hand. Learning not to take things personal. We've all been there. You're out enjoying your best life and bam, someone says or do something that causes you to want to practice your Mortal Kombat skills with their faces. Now you're stuck trying to figure out if you have enough bail money or if you're just going to have to set this one out in jail. I joke, but the truth is, whether it's intentional or by accident, if you keep living, somebody or something is going to piss you off. Go ahead, just accept it, because that part is out of your control. But what you do have control over is how you respond to it. This is a classic example of the battle we have each day involving our id versus our superego. You might remember from a high school psychology class or something that the id is a psyche that contains your basic needs and instincts, and your superego contains your moral consciousness. Every day we partake in our id and superego civil war. Because of that, we have a third psychic, our ego. The ego is our realistic psyche that mediates between the desires of the id and the superego. Properly maturing our ego is critical since it is generally the factor that will ultimately determine our actions, at least for most of us. Making sure your ego is resilient is a key part of this. You do this by not taking things personal. What someone does to you says more about them than it ever will say about you. It is usually their problem, not yours. How they react to you is about them, not you. Conversely, how you react to others says more about you than it does them. This next part might hurt someone's feelings, but here's the real. Forgiveness is personal too. If you require someone to apologize to you before you forgive them, you're not allowing your ego to do its job. Forgive them so that you can move on. Another problem with taking things personal is that we do it selfishly. We apply our own perspective to those who are impacting us. The danger in this is that they're also doing the same thing. When we do this, we're making assumptions that we know what they are thinking. And the reality is that we aren't mind readers. This principle is one of the 4 agreements covered in Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The 4 Agreements. We will talk more on this from the perspective of this book at another time in part 2. But speaking of time, it's that time again. It's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun, but I have to go. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Later.